And welcome to our continuous coverage of the all-important Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency by-election. That by-election that for the first time has seen one of the few constituencies without a flashpoint, developing some very serious conditions there. But as we know, and I've been telling you, counting is underway very soon, we should be knowing where the results is heading. Earlier, the NDC withdrew from this particular election, stating categorically that they are being harassed and the conditions for operation are not very fertile for them under the very situation that we find today. We'll be exploring that particular issue, but I have a guest with me here. My name is Raymond Aqua. He is the constituency chairman of the constituency in contention now. That's Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency. He is actually representing the opposition National Democratic Congress, Bismarck Abobiaite. But before then, hear the account of the national organizer of the governing NPP on what has unfolded today. We put all of that in perspective. Get the other perspectives on the ground for you as we continue our coverage here.
Right from day one, the NDC had demonstrated its preparedness as far as this election was concerned. Initially, they said that the date that we were going to vote was a date that to them wasn't favorable, even when we had all agreed that on January 31st we were going to cast a ballot. After all parties had agreed and signed accordingly at IPAC, the NDC, through its constituency chairman for the Ayawaso West Wuogon, decided to proceed to court to frustrate the process. When that did not work, the NDC 3 days ago had a press conference addressed by its Deputy General Secretary, where Peter Boamo Utukono said the voters' register was bloated. And so for that matter, they were going to pull out of the elections. That is very instructive for us to know. They said 3 days ago that they were going to pull out of the elections because the voters' register was bloated. And they were waiting to hear from the Electoral Commission. As at last night, they claimed they did not hear from the Electoral Commission and they had not heard from the Electoral Commission. This morning, of the polling center incident, the NDC decided to use that as a trigger moment and as a trigger point to say they were pulling out of the elections. The fact of the matter is that in what happened at Bawaleshi, the NPP has condemned the violence that took place, but this was one out of the 137 polling centers in Talensi, in Amenfi West, in Chiriponi, where almost 30 to 40% of the polling centers for us tend to be chaotic. You had attacks and counterattacks. We did not retreat. In Talensi, where people were being beaten to pulp, where the NPP and its leadership came under fire, we ran to the then Interior Minister, Marco Yongo, and what he told us as Interior Minister was violence begets violence. We did not retreat. We still stayed the course because we believed that at the end of the day, the sovereign will of the people was going to prevail. In 2016,
before you move on, are you suggesting that the NDC is coward? Is that what you're suggesting?
The NDC is what?
They're coward.
Well, for me, I think that, they had conducted a lazy campaign. Whilst we were on the ground...
No, they retreated, clearly, only cowards retreat from a battle.
Well, cowards retreat, and also lazy people condition the minds of their supporters that, look, we are losing, so let's find excuses for it. The NPP, as I've told you, I said in 2016, you were a journalist at that time, and you're still a journalist. You covered the famous Let My Vote Count demonstration, where they plucked someone's eye. The NPP never gave up. So I'm surprised that a serious opposition party ready to offer an alternative to an incumbent. Throughout the campaign, while we were seriously conducting house to house, kiosk to kiosk, ghetto to ghetto, they were busily organizing press conferences at the Adabraka head office. They didn't even know the voters in the constituency. The NDC claimed that the voters' register had been bloated, which in effect, 2016, the Charlotte Osei-led EC had prepared the same electoral album that when we complained, the NDC visited on us mayhem and did beat us. This is not to justify what did occur on this park this morning. We have said that what happened was unfortunate, what happened was despicable. But nobody is able to tell us that what happened was a case of NPP supporters attacking the NDC.
No, that is the accusation and allegation against.
But that's what I find very interesting. Well, I had a chat with
the party sanctioned to do what.
But the NPP as a party doesn't control the national security. In Chiriponi, when we raised a whisker about what the gentleman in Chiriponi was doing indiscriminately, they told us that it was a national security matter. Today, for us, we are clear in our minds that the good people of Ayawaso West, and in fact, in any by-election, the turnout is always low. It was incumbent upon all these parties to ensure that we mobilize the supporters, we mobilize the electorates here for them to come out strongly and vote. The NDC's candidate, I understand, he lives very close to the polling center. And from the reports we got and from the police statement, they had some of his boys protecting his premises. Some supporters of the ruling NPP felt that they were hiding some stuff there. They complained to the security agencies. They did visit there, and it turned chaotic. And there was some security members did not visit the premises of the Lali Kwesi. I don't know his house. I had my health work here.
So was the security agency that visited?
That's my understanding, because we do not control men in khaki. But the NDC, I think Professor Milsestan, he established the special forces. Okay. They were dressed just the same as the people I saw today. During the NDC's delegate conference, I think at Trade Fair, where they elected their national officers, my understanding was that these same people in khaki.
And you heard there the national organizer of the governing NPP detailing the chronology of events that have happened earlier today and what they understand of the reality is. But let me come in studio. A man who was there, he's been part of the campaign before. In fact, this is really his election because he's the constituency chairman of the constituency in contention. That is Bismarck Abobi-Aite. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
First, let's start. I mean, why did this incident really happen? The house of the parliamentary candidate of the NDC or on the field at Balishi?
Please, the house of the parliamentary candidate.
It happened in the house?
Yes.
And why do you think that the house was the target for this engagement?
That is where we are all worried. If the whole police machinery, a candidate is contesting, his house is within the constituency. So any good security intelligence should tell the security hierarchy that at least the candidate should be given even 2 police protection in the house, which they didn't do in a way. All started when in the morning we needed to dispatch breakfast to our agents. And this breakfast is around the same area. We offloaded the food in the house and the people started taking it away. But where there is food, you find human beings there. So other people also came in, passerbyers, they want to take some food. So the numbers increased in the house. So all of a sudden, this police car with these people who have masked themselves. And my worry is that you've been in this country for a very long time. Even those of us who were born in the 70s, even in the 60s, the police that we have then, and currently the police that we have, I've not seen any police group deploy in an election day who are masked. You will not see their face, but they are human beings in their, dark glasses. So when I saw that, in the morning, one station asked me.
Were you in the house?
Yes.
You were in the house?
Yes.
You were one of those who were sharing the food?
By the time I was inside having some meeting.
Okay, with the parliamentary candidate?
Yes, before some meeting, so the incident happened and we all came out. In the morning, some of the stations called me and I said, no, I have seen police present. But as to whether they are policemen, proper policemen, I'm afraid because I've not seen policemen in that kind of apparel before.
Okay.
So they came in. I don't know why they came, but according to them, there was intelligence that something is happening in the house.
Did they tell you what was happening?
No, because in any case, if you have an intelligence that something is happening, you must come with evidence, you understand? Or you have this here, we want to check. And even if they are national security officers, we know how national security officers do their work, okay? They may have gun on them, you will not see even the gun, but they will pick intelligence and, pick the individual involved. But here is the case that they came in. By the time we will say Jack, they started throwing stones.
No, sorry, you're saying that these security officials were throwing stones?
They came down on the floor. When the cars got there, because the house, you cannot enter the house.
Was it the people who were reacting and throwing stones?
No. They tried to, provoke the people over there.
How is that possible?
No.
They say they came to do investigations. And
They were not there for investigation.
How do you get to know that? Because
the investigation result in shooting?
No, but hold
because
on.
the people they were shooting, they were not having gun in the first place. They were not even having stone or even a stick.
The sequence you just gave me indicates that somebody did throw stones.
No, it is them. They themselves. They were provoking the group
security
to react.
Officials were throwing stones.
They were security officials. I'm afraid they were not security officers. They were NPP, Delta Force, and Invisible Forces.
Which one? I mean, I've heard that. I've heard Kandahar. Which one is
it?
They
must together.
No, they mix them.
When they want to misbehave,
have you seen one? Do you know any of them? Do you know any of the Invisible or Delta Force members?
Some of our people were able to identify.
Do you know any of them?
I'm saying that some of our people.
Who was identified to be a member of any of these?
Some are on social media. I personally.
So they told you that? They told you that
I personally,
they can identify masked people?
No, one of them was bold enough
to remove the mask.
To hook one and remove because if you know somebody, I know you very well for some years now. So if you mask yourself, I'll be able to identify that it is you. Okay, now
that sounds strange to me, but I'll come to this point again. Very soon we'll be getting you some updates on where and who is leading which part of the country, specifically which part of the constituency. Let's not forget, this particular constituency has over 163 or so polling stations.
141.
All of these, of course, 141 polling stations. All of them would have to be delivering some results to us. We have reporters across the entire constituency to give us more. First, Prince Owusu is an Adobe FM reporter. He's actually currently at the Abelimpe Presby Church. Prince, what's happening there?
All right, currently I'm at the Presbyterian Church at Abelimpe, where the voting has just ended. I have with me here the presiding officer. We welcome you on JoyNews. Could you tell us how the voting started and how the whole thing has been so far?
So far, so good. The voting has started smoothly. We started on. We were done with our distribution of materials, and exactly 7, all our centers started. Yes, and throughout.
And we sure should get back to Prince for the update from the Abelimpe Presby Church, where the very presiding officer who took over, of course, who is in charge of course, the gentleman, there is a deputy returning officer in the districts, but he, in this particular election, is the presiding officer for that particular polling station. What he was telling us is what has been happening since morning. And we sure have him back on the line. So Prince will be interacting with this presiding officer as to what happened at Abelimpe. More importantly, how the counting of the ballot is going. Well, if you're able to get Prince back on the line, that clarification will be given us. But this is one of the places where we didn't see much activity, as was reported early on. Indeed, it is one place that's a stronghold of the NPP. If you have seen how their voting interests have been, of course, I mean, you're not exempt Abelimpe, you're not exempt Jolu. You actually can even extend it to parts of airports in this case. And if you go to the Baoleshi area, it has been known over the years, if you check the electoral areas voting, you would know there are 4 polling stations around Baoleshi have consistently voted the NDC. Does that have anything to do with what happened today?
To me, to some extent, yes, to put fear into the people so that they will not be able to come forward and cast their vote.
But that's the same allegation the NPP levels are. Your team says that you were not prepared, you were choosing. You were choosing to be holding press conferences instead of preparing to contest an election. In fact, they are threatened to boycott or pull out right from yesterday.
It's a shame. He conducted all these things that we are seeing today.
You're saying that? No, but
mastermind.
No, but that's a serious allegation.
No, he's a disgrace.
I'm insisting.
A young man.
Hold on.
Disgrace. These things were planned, orchestrated, planned.
Bismarck.
This mayhem you are seeing today.
An individual in the form of a national organizer controlled security agencies.
He controlled even the president. and the police.
But that's a wild allegation. And
I'm telling you.
I have no evidence to suggest
Please,
or support this.
I ask you a question.
No, but
when did you see in your life? They should not tell us that these people are special forces from the police unit.
Have you asked the police?
The police are saying that.
Have you asked the police?
No, we went to lodge.
So if you have not asked
listen,
the police,
we went to lodge a complaint.
Where? Where did you lodge your complaint?
The police headquarters. This is a high-profile case, so you don't go to any district office.
So hold on.
Police headquarters.
You are saying that there's an incident in Ayawaso West Wuogon, and you decide to go lodge a complaint at the headquarters.
Yes, we did. National chairman did.
I get the point.
National chairman did.
And what was the response?
They are telling us that the people who were there, they cannot say confidently whether they are policemen or not.
Which police officer responded to your claim?
This claim I'm telling you. When you go to the police headquarters,
sorry, I want a specific one so that I can call up the person and ask.
What I'm
saying
really
say
this is what the police is saying.
Which policeman said that to you?
You are in this country, media people. These invisible forces, they go to court, they misbehave. They meet you on the street and they cause some of you were beaten by these people. So if today they are misbehaving this way, you want to share them, it's up to you. Where we are going now as a country, I'm afraid the future of this country, and you in particular, I'm afraid for you, the kind of job that you are doing.
Let me be clear in my mind on this.
It happened on Wuogon campus. People were beaten on Wuogon campus.
When was this?
Today. You think only the 15 people
were beaten on Wuogon campus?
I'm saying that 15 people were admitted.
The police says 6.
Currently, 7 are still on admission.
7, rather?
Yes, the police statement.
Have you been to the hospital?
I've been there.
You've met these people?
Yes.
You can identify them?
Oh, my brother.
Now, I want to know specific questions, and you should answer these specific questions.
My brother,
can you identify them?
I went to the hospital, I saw them.
Are they sympathizers of the NDC?
Of course.
Are they ordinary voters?
Of course.
Were they working for you?
They came there to eat. They came there to take water.
That's still violation, right?
Yes.
So the Wuogon people that you say were attacked, what happened?
That's what the mayhem they plan across the constituency. And you know, we also pick an intelligence.
What happened? You are telling me mayhem they plan across the constituency.
No, if somebody is beaten, ask our brother Sam George, when he was beaten, did you ask what happened?
No, but specifically,
was he holding a gun?
We have evidence of what happened to Sam George. We saw the video of it. I'm asking you, the people you say were beaten in Wuogon, what happened to them? Have they been taken to the hospital?
Yes, they were taken to the hospital. Some of them were beaten, and Ghana police rather arrested our people who were beaten, and they put them behind bars for more than 1 hour while the people were bleeding. You understand? This kind of impunity is what we are talking about. The Ghana police, when Sam George was beaten, the police were standing by, a whole lot maker. So do you trust that police people? Where we are heading towards as a country, I'm afraid, and you know something, we the NDC, we also need to protect ourselves. So this kind of people, we can train more in multiples. That is the way forward. We can train
police officers, security agents.
We can train our tax, and we will tell Ghanaians that these are our tax, because you have acknowledged.
No, you have some of them. You have admitted that you are grooming some of them.
I'm saying
indeed, I've heard. Your national organizer.
Listen.
I've also heard other members of your party, including the youth organizer, state boldly that these are people in your vote.
What we are going to do is that we will train them, we will adore them, like the way NPP adore you as a pressman. You will be there to see for yourself. So going into 2020 election,
but you should know better. You should know that that's not a good thing to do.
So as they are doing it, they are killing our people, injuring them. You are happy with it?
The police has no record of any death so far. Are you aware?
Do you want somebody to die before the police will take action?
But I say they are killing your people. You say they are killing your people. And I'm saying that the police has no record of any death.
If somebody shoots you, go to the house, blood all over. Somebody was shot, and my brother, the bones broken and spread on the floor. Please, what we are talking about.
Who is this person?
He's also a member of the people who were
he's part of the 7 or 6?
He's part of the 7. That person has been referred to 37 military hospital.
Yes, we understand there's somebody at 37 military hospital. The police has actually acknowledged that.
So these are the realities we are talking about. How should you do that in a by-election? You know you are losing the election. The president has lost credibility.
Okay, no, sorry.
The only way...
Who is losing the election?
The president. Because this is a national election.
The president is...
It's a midterm election.
The by-election is a president election.
Please, why did he walk to Baolishi to go and
But we have known by-elections have attracted the big Western political parties to go and
because
campaign.
the big will have interest, and he thinks if he loses this election, it will dwindle his credibility. So either he use security to do mafia the system to his favor. Nanado cannot wash his hands out of this.
Okay, let me be clear. Except for Rebecca Adote, whose win was even reversed by the courts, and you know that, for George Amoh to be made a substantive member of parliament for the area, the NDC has no history in that constituency.
When do you think history can be created? As we are here now, we are making a history.
So my problem is that don't make it look like all of a sudden the dynamics have changed in that constituency, and that the NDC had the clear chance of winning this election, so you are the one who's being robbed of this seat. But the evidence really...
That is the fact. That is the fact. You know, we had intelligence from the NPP since yesterday. And the intelligence is
And the intelligence was they are going to be beaten.
They are going to cause mayhem.
Oh, really? But I didn't put that one out there.
You know something?
What you put out there was about your dealings with the Electoral Commission. So you picked up intelligence. You didn't share with the masses. You waited for an incident to happen. And you're not telling us that we picked up that intelligence.
Listen. You know the time we picked that intelligence?
What was it?
This morning.
Not yesterday.
No, I'm coming. This morning, more calls were coming from reliable sources in the NPP. And they seek to
reliable sources within the NPP.
Yes,
I see.
They seek to suggest to us that our leadership must be very careful because they are bent on doing anything. And they will start it in the morning and conclude in the evening. This evening, if we find ourselves in the polling station, I'm afraid for our lives. That is why we recall all our polling agents, because we cannot guarantee their safety.
But you can be rest assured that the election was not dependent, and the time you record your polling agents had no impact on the election. And you know that, right?
It is.
Really?
It is.
But you do know for a fact that you can't withdraw in the field of the election.
There are even certain police stations, after we pull out, we've ended up winning those police stations.
Which police station?
Presby Acid Academy, Joel. We won it.
Oh,
I have the records. We had 49, the woman had 39. You understand?
I see.
So
which other area did you win?
No, I'm here to, you called me here, so I don't have the facts now. But we've won some of the police stations.
So out of the 143 polling stations, how many have you won so far?
So far, I'm here. How will I know?
No, but give me one. I want to know.
No, that is what I mentioned. What I have is...
Okay, what you've been told is what
yes, so if we are able to even get one out of this frustration, then you know what will happen. If we were giving clean hand in this process.
The other accusation is that the NDC is way too formidable a political party to withdraw from an election because of this incident.
If this incident, do you think if what happened, our brothers who are also bold and more emboldened than the NPP also narrow down to the police stations, do you think this country will be a safe place for us? As far as we are concerned.
You are rejecting completely the idea that these are police officers and that they are carrying out...
No, they are not. Duty. My brother, don't be deceived. These are NPP tax. What I'm afraid that I realize we are at risk as a country is that these people are on board a police vehicle.
And yet you don't believe they are police officers?
Please, they are not. Don't let anybody convince you that they are police people. If they are police people, they should show their face. One of them who, the guy was, bold. He knows the guy. He said the guy is from Nima. He mentioned his name and he hooked him and he removed the thing. And he said, you are the guy. There are more of those things here that if you even see it, you know that these are the guys who are misbehaving. It's a pure thing that they plan, the NPP plan. If we will lose, for us to be disgraced, that people will say our government is not doing well, then let us use foul means to consolidate that gain. And that is what they did. And I'm afraid for this country. So for me, I will support any move from our party that we should come out boldly and come out with a plan to train our own security tax, because we don't have confidence in the police. If a whole lawmaker will be beaten in front of the policeman.
Chairman.
Oh,
you
my brother.
Constituency.
My brother.
You cannot
just put the status chairman. Let's face the reality.
No, you cannot act like that. there are people who have to learn from you within the constituency. There are younger people
For
who
this
have to
time,
learn
they
from
should forgive me.
No, but
because where we are
you cannot
heading
continue
towards,
on that path because
my brother,
you are
so we should leave them to misbehave. They go to court, they do their own thing.
That your political party has taxed. Beyond that, you are saying that, oh, we will embolden them.
I'm saying that we will train them, outdoor them, buy them the gun that the invisible forces that they are using, so that we face it squarely. After all, what happened in Liberia, people are still alive. This nonsense must stop in this country with these invisible forces and data forces state. It's not doing us any good.
And you reported to the police, but I don't trust the police will get to the bottom of this matter.
Did you see any of the police people who arrested these thugs and were able to prosecute them? Go to the court. What happened in the court and around us?
Sorry, but
we don't have confidence in the police.
Speaking on this matter, first, you say your national chairman went to the police station. In fact, to the headquarters, with the inclination to report an incident you think is of this magnitude. Now, you come back to say, we don't trust the police. Is this the stand of the NDC or is your personal stance on this matter?
For me, I don't trust the police, especially if the IGP is there and Tiwa Dodankwa is there. The two people over there, they are there to prosecute NPP agenda. Okay?
Forgive me, but let me go to the phone lines. Let me just get to speak to Nancy Emefa Juadosi, is on the line from the University of Ghana. Nancy, specifically, where are you in the University of Ghana?
Raymond, so I just left Roman Ridge, specifically the Jack and Joy International School and other polling stations. We are currently headed to Wuogon, where the collating will be taking place. Okay,
the central cafeteria is where we understand this is supposed to happen. Now, the Jack and Jill is an interesting the polling station. If you do know, that's the polling station that General Eskin got his votes from, where he voted in national elections in 1992. I want to be interested in what's happening there. Have they finally declared who's leading there?
Right. So I have a few results. In fact, I have a number from I have numbers from a lot of the polling stations. So I've been to the Jack and Jill polling station 1A and polling station 1B. In fact, polling station 2A and all of that. But in all of this, I can say that Lydia Al-Hassan is leading in all of this, followed by Delali Brimpong, and then William Dookpo and Clement Boyd. In fact, in some of the polling stations, William Dookpo and Clement Boyd had 0 scores. In fact, they didn't even get 1. And Delali Brimpong could get as high as 25, whilst Lydia Al-Hassan would get some 70. The results from polling station 1A, Delali had 25, Lydia had 70. Delali Brimpong had 21 also at polling station 1B, and Lydia Al-Hassan had 57. William Dookpo had 0, and Clement Boyd also had 0. So I must say that even though the gap between Lydia Al-Hassan and Delali Brimpong is not really that huge, it's still a contest between the NDC and the NPP.
It's interesting there, but beyond Jack and Jill, which other polling station have you visited, and is the trend similar to what you just told us from Jack and Jill?
So I have not really been able to visit quite a number of other polling stations besides the Roman Ridge area, where I know that the results have been declared already. But I have those from other places like the University of Ghana, where I'm currently headed to, because we understand that voting ended at 5, counting has already been done. The results have also been declared. So I know that for Ekwafu Hall 1A, for instance, Delali Brimpong had 26, Lydia Al-Hassan had 69, William Dookpo had 0, and Clement Boyd had 0. If you go to Annex B, for instance, you also get Delali Brimpong getting some 14. And guess what? Lydia Al-Hassan was able to get 188 votes, and then William Dookpo got 1. So I have those results from
that's the Akwafu Hall, the University of Ghana. Of course, that particular hall too has been consistently voting the direction of the NPP, which is not surprising, the kind of trend they are showing here now.
But I also have, interestingly, results from the Atimota Business College, and Lydia Al-Hassan led by 90 votes, whilst Delali Brimpong had 69. William Dookpo had 0, and Clement Boyd had 0. So, Raymond, I must say that I have seen about 40 results from 40 different polling stations. And I can say that per the results that I have, that Lydia Al-Hassan has led in all of these polling stations.
Certainly. And it's pretty clear that once you gave out there, we still have, if your 40 is anything to go by, 102 left, because there are 143 polling stations we are dealing with in this particular election, and surely be following up on these. When you get to the collation center, we shall be speaking to you more when we get there. Nancy MFI Joadosi, nice reporting there. But let me come back in the studio, and we're talking about, you've seen the trend, right? I mean, it doesn't look like your candidate, even if
boycotted the election.
Agents,
we pull out.
But you pulled out agents. You didn't pull out people who go to vote.
No, we called our people not to go and vote.
Really?
Yes.
You told them but not to go and vote?
No, we told everybody.
And they heard you?
Of course.
And they decided not to go and vote?
Yes.
Did you vote yourself?
No. Look at me. I didn't vote.
You didn't?
Yes.
But you don't know anybody who is a sympathizer of the NDC that still voted?
You see,
the people who are giving numbers, yes.
Listen. The result that were mentioned,
yeah,
they were the first 2 hours of voting.
Oh, okay.
And they realized things were not going in their favor. These were all plans that were arranged.
But the results actually showed that things were going in their favor.
My brother, things may go in their favor anyway, because we have pulled out and our people didn't go to vote. So they should take it. Lydia should take it. The good Lord above will judge all of us and the NPP. The Samuel Wuku guy who was talking.
The national organizer of the...
That Samuel Wuku guy.
I don't want you to take...
These are his babies.
Sorry.
His own bodyguard was part of this group. All over, we know them.
I've had
that guy.
The allegations you make without subjecting it to any proof.
I'm saying
I'm insisting that you give me proof. You don't have any.
If you ask for the proof, I will have given it to your team to shoot it on the screen for everybody to see.
To see what exactly what will be your proof?
To see the people behind these plans.
When you went to the police station, when you and your officials went to the police stations to report it, did you submit this evidence to them?
The police investigation will happen, and during the investigation,
have you submitted?
We are not in court to produce exhibits.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But no, hold on.
You give your statement.
You want to report to the
based
police.
on your statement.
Yes.
The police will call for better particulars.
So you are waiting for
it's
the police.
It's not a court that when you are going, you have to provide exhibits.
But so the time you went to the police, you had this information.
I'm saying that during investigation, we'll make necessary evidences that are on the face of this matter available to the police.
There are some that are projecting that this is a sign of what's likely to happen in the main general elections. Do you think so?
I think so. That is why we need to put our house together as a party.
But the NDC has always had vigilante groups.
No.
The names are bound.
No.
The Bamba, not the Azoka boys. All of these are NDC. Sofa Azoka.
Who is Sofa?
The former Northern Regional Chairman of the party.
Did you see Sofa?
Azoka boys have been known in your MDC for a very long time.
That is but we as a
if
party...
I recently, there even is a new group, the Hawks and all of those other groups.
Please, the issue is that for me, from now onwards, I believe that as a political party, we have to protect ourselves, because under Nanado, nobody is secured. Former President Kufuor said it 2007, and Ghanaians overlook it.
He said what?
He said that at the time that they were going to contest, he categorically mentioned that Nanado, we have to be very careful, because there is no peace.
Where did he say this?
There is no peace.
Where did he say this?
I'll give you the footage.
Well, I mean, I've seen that footage. He did not say that. He said they should not vote for somebody who is not peaceful. It is not the same.
Nanado, he was talking to.
Well, I guess I should get some more detail on these other issues. But I thought I was going to the phone line. So I just be able to go to the other sections of the constituency. What we have heard so far is that out of the 143 polling stations, we have 40 results for you. And the 40 is, there's a clear-cut indication that the NPP's candidate is the one leading. So Lydia Al-Hassan is the one leading, and followed keenly, not that closely, by the NDC's own Delali Brimpon, and we should be able to get you some more details
from the disclaimer
especially the collation center the collation center where the final results will be put together. This is at the central cafeteria of the University of Ghana, and that's where all the action will be. And I'm sure we'll be following up keenly to now tell you who wins Ayawaso West Wuogon. They can project into the future to see what's going to happen in the main election. Will she, if she eventually becomes the winner, maintain the seat? Or there will be some surprise coming up in the nearest future. Will the NDC maintain the KB or change him for someone they think is more likely to give them the kind of victory that they may require in the next election? So all of those are on our plates for a better analysis and appreciation of the issues here on JoyNews. Now, I'm still here in the studio with one man who's been in the thick of affairs right from the morning. He was one of the few people who earlier came out to say that early on, we believe that this election is not going well. In fact, he had sued the Electoral Commission on choosing to conduct the election on the 31st and not the 26th. What happened to that court case anyway? You were thrown out?
Not really. You know, the case has not been thrown out, but the case has not been called.
The case has not been called?
Yes.
But the election is virtually done.
You know, but we have filed a case, and it will be in the history book that Supreme Court, they are in charge. They supervise our Constitution. So if somebody is handling the Constitution with impunity, you have the right as a citizen to appeal to the Supreme Court. That is what we did. So if the Supreme Court thinks in their wisdom that instead of 60 days, the election could take place 65
After
days.
60 days.
It's up to Supreme Court. We are waiting to hear from them. And if they will respect the Constitution, then what we are calling for is that this particular election should be annulled.
So, to be fair, you want the election annulled?
Of course. An election that...
But was that one of the reliefs you were seeking then?
No. At that time,
yes,
if the Constitution proves us all rights, meaning that whoever took that decision, you understand, to conduct the election after 60 days, the person has acted in violation.
So all that you were asking the court to say was that for the EC to have fixed the date on the 31st and not 26th.
It's a violation of the Constitution.
It's a violation of the Constitution.
Yes.
And you are hinging this argument strongly on the section of the Constitution that says that when the person dies and there's information to Parliament, 60 days after that, the Electoral Commission should hold an election. Yes. And what you're saying is the latest is that the Supreme Court has not called the issue yet. Yes. You don't have a date for hearing yet, do you?
No.
Yes, but the issue has, the election has happened.
That does not preclude
it does not negate your case before the court.
Yes.
But you are seeking to stop an action. The action has already happened.
It doesn't matter.
You think the court can annul it?
It's a constitutional provision. So immediately you violate it, the court can come at you at any time, provided the Chief Justice and the Supreme Court judges and the Attorney General, they want to act fairly in their course of duty with Ghanaians.
Yeah, but how has that got to do with the Attorney General?
But he was part of the suit.
Yes, but the Attorney General will not suit your interests. He will actually pursue the interests of the people.
That is why we are treading on a dangerous ground.
So are you going to go back to the court and redefine the reliefs you are seeking, and in this case insist that they should?
No, we can vary the relief.
Is that something you want to do?
I believe so. I will talk to my lawyers.
Okay.
Because under our Constitution since 1992, every important election, observers are there.
Yeah.
This particular election, because of the nature of the atmosphere, all the observers were out.
Really?
Yes.
Kodio said they are observers and they are giving them a report and they're going to issue a final report at the end of the day. Kodio. Yes.
Kodio is not the only observers.
Yes, I'm not doubting that. I'm saying that Kodio is an observer group. You said all the observers are out, but Kodio claims they were there. They are representation on the ground.
Okay. Let's see what they will bring. Whether they will tell us that the people that they saw in the tundra going round, trying to put fear and panic around the polling stations, whether it is right process or it's a good atmosphere for any good democracy.
Well, I've heard the coordinators of Kodio, Abetahin, say that they were shocked to have seen them because they were going to intimidate the people. But of course, we are still waiting on Kodio's final report to be able to understand what really happened from that independent perspective. I get your point, and I'm not disputing that.
You can imagine Legon campus,
yeah,
a Kwafo Hall. You have been a student before. I was passing by, and these guys, they know me, beating my car. Where are you going? Where are you going? And I asked, is not this place a polling station? And they drove off. Try to make sure that they provoke you. So in an attempt to defend yourself, they can do whatever their paymasters ask them to do. Whatever is happening, it was a planting. Nanado will be defeated. Ghanaians will say, oh, Nanado, we are, because the message was that if you are a Ghanaian and you know that the economy is very hard, things are not going well, there is insecurity all over, come and vote against Nanado. So for Nanado not to experience such a defeat, then Nanado will ask invisible forces to take over police service.
That's a wild allegation.
It's not allegation.
You don't
That's
have
the
any
reality.
proof to this allegation.
I'm very surprised at you that a lawmaker will be beaten.
No, but see, listen.
I am surprised at you.
You're surprised at me. You are making an allegation. I'm asking you for proof. You are surprised
The
at me.
proof is
I'm asking you for
that
proof.
how can invisible forces, people beating a lawmaker, and a policeman will stand aloof?
That is only because the man may be a policeman himself, and that he believes that his colleagues is acting right.
Who told you?
But that's a logical conclusion that you should be able to arrive at too.
So why is it that the other police people, they didn't mark their faces?
There are different units that were there.
It's not any unit. Don't be deceived. Please, don't let deceive
ourselves. I are both at the level where the police gives us information and we take it. You are creating the
police statement that came. My brother. The police statement that you've read, you've read the police statement.
Yeah.
Is there any paragraph that indicates that these people are from this unit and that is their apparel for their duties?
But the police statement...
No, was it stated?
No, there was nothing like that.
But the complaint,
did not come
the complaint we made was that these
you were the police.
Yeah, these were people dressed in a way. You see, these invisible forces, they have a way of dressing. Their khaki dress and their top T-shirt, black T-shirt that you know. That's what they came with.
I see.
You understand? So
I get you.
These are people that the NPP plan that they are coming to cause mayhem and beat our people. My PC is traumatized.
The parliamentary candidates?
Yes.
Traumatized?
For me, some of these things, I have experienced some before.
But see,
when you hear the gunshot,
I get you, but
live bullets.
You were telling me about how you went to court, how you are seeking, among other things, to annul this case going forward to. Does it not send me a good signal that the NDC really was not interested in this election? Because you were in court. Your case has not been heard.
You know something.
Would that be hypocritical on your side to support this election?
You know something.
Yes.
You know something. We didn't go to court to place an injunction on the illegalities. We were humbly asking the Supreme Court that within their purview, within their powers, they should direct the Electoral Commissioner
to do what is right,
respect the constitutional provision. Because we believe that if we should be handling the constitution haphazardly, a time will come, the document constitution will become a useless document that nobody will believe in it, nobody will trust it as a potent document that will govern this country going forward. And they've refused to call the case. You understand me? That is my problem. Because these things will call for civil uprising some time to come. Because if you don't have confidence in your judiciary, you don't have confidence in the police, you don't have confidence in other arms of government, then the citizens will do what we call civil uprising.
I hope you are not inciting the people in this case.
I'm not inciting anybody.
Because
these are real
consequences.
These are real issues that can happen when your people don't have confidence in you. I bet you there are guys that came out openly today that they are going to confront these people. A national chairman said, we as a social democratic party, both our left and right, forward, back, are the ordinary. So we have to be very careful. When there is war, it's the ordinary Ghanaian who will suffer. But NPP want to take advantage of our leniency to cause more mayhem. I'm telling you, we will openly, I will support it. If NDC will have our own tax to face them during elections, because this country doesn't belong to NPP. Nanado will die, he will never take Ghana away. So he cannot destroy Ghana before dying.
I'm sorry, but I need to wrap up on this conversation. So what we've been doing so far is to get to appreciate what's happening on the ground there in the Ayawaso West constituency. I have with me, and he's been with me throughout this conversation, the constituency chairman of the NDC, who was one of the early people to have said we're no longer interested in that particular election because of what had happened. Now, interestingly, we also do know that so far, some results have come in, as Jadosi did give us some detail on that. We have been able to garner almost 40 of those polling stations, and there are 143 of them. So we still have 103 to go. It's pretty clear that even among the 40 that we have received so far, the NPP's candidate, Lydia Al-Hassan, is in a comfortable lead. Now, I use that particular expression advisedly. No, I mean, not to mean the other one, you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm trying to say. So we'll be pretty much wrapping up on this conversation. We may need to hand over to news, and our coverage will continue here on your election headquarters.